I'm Congressman Tom Reed, here to host this great event, and I just wanted to take a moment to welcome everyone. I do want to thank everybody for the social distancing recognition and making sure that we respect the virus as we deal with this situation. It's good to see folks respecting that social distancing and the mask and other issues that are here. I wanted to take a moment. I think Jake Chard is here from Brian Coles. Right, Jake? There you go, everybody. Thank you, Jake. I'll clap for you. So I think everybody knows why we're here. We're obviously here for the dedication of this beautiful memorial that is behind us. And this is the soft unveiling with the major dedication planned for May 30th, 2021. And we hope to see everyone there. And so in order to get started, I think it's only appropriate that we start with the pledge as well as a moment of silence and a prayer. And so we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance with our own Village of Waterloo Mayor, Jack O'Connor. Jack, come on up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. If you want to join me, flags over there in the Pledge of Allegiance, I would appreciate it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much, Mayor. And then for a prayer and a moment of silence, our chaplain from the VFW as our local VFW commander and a member of the American Legion, Chaplain Chuck Nightingale. Chuck, can you come on up, please?
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we honor today those men and women, our sons and daughters, husbands and wives, fathers, brothers, sisters and mothers, who answered their nation's call. Some made the supreme sacrifice and are with you in heaven. Some are still among us today. Their sacrifice is too humbling for words except those uttered in our prayer. Loving Lord, bless them forever in your eternal peace. Cherish their spirit, their bravery, honor their commitment, send them our love, and we will never forget the service they gave. Shed your grace on them and keep them now forevermore. Amen.
Well done, Chaplain. Well done. Very nice, Chaplain. Very nice. So maybe to give a little bit of background on why we're here today, and obviously the monument that we're here to unveil. This project started with an idea brought to the mayor here of Waterloo, to Jack, last year from Waterloo resident, retired Staff Sergeant Jack O'Connor's. No relationship. There he is, right there. How are you, Jack? So U.S. Air Force and served us proudly, and thank you for the inspiration that you provided in getting this put together. It was his idea to create a local monument dedicated to the veterans with Purple Heart distinction. With the mayor's full support, he went right to work and hasn't stopped about 5 minutes ago to make this project a true reality. And yeah, I can tell you, hearing the reports on all the work that you did, Jack, you were tireless in your effort to make sure that this got done. The response to this initial application request for the Wall of Honor was remarkable, with over 70 applications already submitted. This will be a true living memorial with additional opportunities for Purple Heart recipients as well as their families to submit applications at some point in the future. This was a local initiative made possible by local donations and our local community's commitment to those that have served. I will tell you, as the son of a career 20-year Army officer, served in World War II and Korea, I will just tell you that we can never forget the sacrifice of our men and women, the folks that stood on the line and who often have given their life to make sure that our nation is strong. But to every man and woman who wore the uniform, we will always remember and be thankful for their service, for what they've done for us as a nation. And not only do we thank them, but we thank their families too, because their sacrifice cannot go unnoticed. And so without further ado, my next role is to bring up Senator Pam Helming, who will introduce the following speakers. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Congressman Reed. It truly is a privilege and an honor to join you today for this unveiling. This is an incredible job, well done by the Village of Waterloo. I'd like to start out by thanking all of you, everyone who has served in our nation's military. Thank you for your service. And to those family members who are here, thank you for standing behind your serviceman or woman. Again, I want to thank the village for leading this initiative to honor our brave military members who were wounded or killed as a result of enemy actions. Special thanks to our mayor. Mayor, thank you. I know I saw him around. Don Northrup. Don, I know you're in the back there. And of course to Jack O'Connors. Jack, thank you for everything you do. You have been an incredible supporter of veterans in Seneca County and beyond for years and years. Thank you for your service personally, and thank you for everything you continue to do to support our veterans. And again, to the entire village board, I want to thank you. I also want to thank Emily Columbus, who organized today's event. Emily, thank you. I'm honored to have this opportunity to introduce today's featured speakers. Our first speaker is retired Air Force Colonel Dan Grillone. Colonel Grillone is a Waterloo native. He graduated from Waterloo High School in 1980. Following his high school graduation, he attended Virginia Military Institute, where he earned a Bachelor of Science in Physics. He later went on to earn an MS in Business Management, an MS in International Strategic Studies, and Associates of Science in Viticulture and Wine Technology. Colonel Grillone and his wife Kelly, also a Waterloo native, have been married for 36 years. I've heard the story that they grew up as neighbors and were high school sweethearts. But for 36 years, I have to give you a round of applause. Thank you. Colonel Grillone served in the U.S. Air Force for 30 years. He entered Air Force Flight School in 1984. The colonel logged over 3,500 flight hours flying F-111 fighters, C-130 Hercules, and numerous other types of aircraft and helicopters. The colonel did combat tours in both Iraq and Afghanistan. He commanded the Air Force's only Special Operations Flying Squadron specifically tasked with advising and training foreign aviation combat forces. The colonel led dozens of special operations missions in over 20 countries. During his service, Colonel Grillone earned several major awards and decorations, including the Legion of Merit, Defense Superior Service Medal, Bronze Star Medal, Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Meritorious Service Medal with 3 oak leaf clusters, Iraq Campaign Medal, Aerial Achievement Medal, and the Air Force Achievement Medal. In 2017, I had the honor of recognizing Colonel Grillone as a New York State Veterans Hall of Fame nominee. The colonel retired from the Air Force in 2014. The highlights of his life following retirement include he is a grandfather. That's a wonderful accomplishment. He has graduated from the FLCC Viticulture and Wine Technology program in Geneva. He started a small business that many of us are familiar with, the Cobblestone Coffee Roasters. And for those of you who may not know, Colonel Grillone is a snowboard. He spends his winters in Tampa, Florida, where he volunteers as a mentor for high school students. But when he's here in Waterloo, he he stays busy supporting our community. He is currently the Managing Director of the Waterloo Farmers Market. Colonel Grillone, it is an honor and privilege to be able to introduce you and to welcome you to this event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you sit there. Welcome, Colonel. Thank you. Yep.
Good afternoon, everyone. And Senator Helming, thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. Thank you. Congressman Reed, Mr. Mayor, friends, family, military veterans, thank you very much for being here for this special occasion. Jack O'Connors, you turned an inspiring vision of what stands here today into a reality. I remember it was about 1 year ago when you mentioned the idea about this monument and you made it happen. Thank you very much, Jack. So here we are today honoring 70 heroes whose names are engraved on this beautiful monument behind us. And I cannot imagine a more appropriate and relevant place to be doing this. The birthplace of Memorial Day is now the location of a timeless tribute to these heroes. This is a memorial that will outlive all of us. It will forever remind us of the fact that freedom is not free. This day is important and very personal for me. Like some of the more senior people in our audience today, I attended school in the building that's behind us. And I remember as a 7th and 8th grader, I walked through this park every day. Back then, I had very little appreciation for the significance and the meaning of the monuments that are here. I had very little appreciation for the significance of Memorial Day, which this town is the birthplace of. But now that I stand here 47 years later, I have a completely different outlook on that appreciation. The countless military heroes I served with for 30 years will never leave my memory. Some paid the ultimate price during combat. I do not have a Purple Heart, but I'm here to tell you that the Purple Heart means more to me than I can put into words. It's an honor for me to be here today to speak to the history and the meaning of this medal. Before Jack asked me to speak to its history, I only knew that it was awarded to service members wounded or killed in combat. Little did I know the rest of the story, which can be described as a 238-year complex journey. This particular medal has changed so much over its history, and now that I know that history, it's incredibly fascinating. The Purple Heart is the oldest military decoration still being awarded to the men and women who serve our country. It's the only decoration that does not, and I'll repeat, that does not recognize someone for outstanding service or length of service. All the medals that you heard Senator Helming read off that I earned, those are medals that just you earn by either being in the service for a certain length of time or doing outstanding service. This Purple Heart is totally different. Instead, the Purple Heart is awarded for, quote, being wounded or killed in any action against the enemy of the United States, or as a result of any such result of an act of any such enemy or opposed armed forces. So it's very specific. And unlike other military awards, which must be submitted by the service member's commander and approved by the chain of command, the Purple Heart soldier is entitled to the award if he or she satisfies the eligibility criteria. The origin of the Purple Heart dates back 238 years ago today. And for those of you who don't know this, August 7th, 238 years ago, is when this Purple Heart was initiated. And today, August 7th, is National Purple Heart Day. So this is a very appropriate day that we're doing this. On that day, 238 years ago, General George Washington had awarded the medal to 3 Revolutionary War soldiers. The name of the award at that time was the Badge of Merit. After the Revolutionary War, the Badge of Merit lay dormant for over 150 years until being revived by General Douglas MacArthur in 1932. General MacArthur renamed the award to the Purple Heart. The official signing ceremony of the Purple Heart took place on February 22nd, 1932, the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birthday. In 1932, the Purple Heart was awarded for both wounds received as well as meritorious service during combat. In other words, back in 1932, you could be awarded the Purple Heart for valor or outstanding service without being actually wounded or killed in combat. That changed. 10 years later, in 1942, meritorious service was removed from the medal's eligibility criteria, making the Purple Heart the only medal awarded solely for wounds or death in combat. For a period of time after 1932, civilians were also eligible to receive the medal. In fact, 9 civilian firefighters from Honolulu were awarded the Purple Heart for action during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. Today, civilians are no longer eligible to receive the medal. Instead, they are awarded the Defense Freedom Medal. During the early stages of the Vietnam War, President Kennedy changed the medal yet again, authorizing it for actions while serving with friendly forces during advisory and training operations. He made this change because our Special Operations Forces were serving as trainers and advisors to the South Vietnamese military, and these Special Ops forces would often be caught up in the crossfire between the North and South Vietnamese armed forces. So, the Purple Heart, it has certainly evolved over its long past into what it currently stands for today. In total, nearly 2 million servicemen and women have received the Purple Heart, with an estimated 1 million awarded to soldiers serving in World War II. I use the word estimated because commanders during World War II would frequently award the medal at the hospital bedside of a wounded soldier. These official but impromptu awards make it nearly impossible to determine the exact number or names of all recipients. Notable recipients of the medal include President John F. Kennedy. President Kennedy is the only president with a Purple Heart. While serving in the Navy during World War II, he injured his back when a Japanese ship collided with his patrol boat near the Solomon Islands. As his boat was sinking, he refused to let his injured back stop him from saving a severely burned crew member. He swam over 3 miles, pulling this crew member along with him until reaching the safety of the shore. The first woman to receive a Purple Heart was Army Lieutenant Annie Fox for her actions as a medic during the attack on Pearl Harbor. Other notable recipients include Senator John McCain, Senator Bob Dole, General Colin Powell, Colonel Chuck Yeager, actors Charles Bronson, Lee Marvin, and James Garner. Another interesting fact I found out, there was a soldier in Vietnam, his name was Curry Hayes, and Curry Hayes received 10 Purple Hearts for multiple separate injuries and wounds that occurred during Vietnam. And now we add our own local heroes to this list of notable recipients by honoring them with this wonderful monument behind us. Jack, thanks again for asking me to be part of this unveiling ceremony. I really appreciate it. It's an honor. In closing, I think it's important to say the following. It does not matter who you are, where you are from, or how you lean politically. All of us are unified in the belief that our Purple Heart soldiers are national heroes. And we all believe the Purple Heart is and will remain a nationally important symbol of their sacrifice that guarantees our freedom. Thank you.
I'm bouncing around.
Thank you, Colonel. May I ask for a show of hands, how many Purple Heart recipients do we have here today? Well, I'm about to introduce another Purple Heart recipient, Sargent Major Christopher Balch. Sargent Major Balch joined active duty in 1989, 3 days after he graduated from high school. He started his career at Fort Benning, Georgia, where he completed basic and advanced individual training. Sergeant Major Balch was first stationed at Fort Hood, Texas with the 2nd Battalion, 41st Infantry. From there, he was deployed to Operation Desert Storm with the 3rd Battalion, 41st Infantry, 1st Tiger Brigade. During this operation, he earned his first Combat Infantry Badge. Sergeant Major Balch joined the Army Reserves in 1993, becoming a drill sergeant under the 98th Division banner. In 2004, he deployed in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. During this deployment, Sargent Major Balch earned his 2nd Combat Infantry Badge and his Purple Heart. In 2008, Sergeant Balch was deployed again. After training several units at Fort Dix, New Jersey on theater of operation specific tasks, he was deployed overseas. Sergeant Major Balch has worked with the New York State Department of Corrections since 1999. I know I join probably all of you in feeling extremely blessed and grateful that we currently have Sergeant Major Balch working as a sergeant supervisor right here at 5 Points Correctional Facility. The Sergeant Major is a father to 5 children, Damien, Desmond, Megan, Tiana, and Adriana. He and his beautiful wife, Marcia, are proud to be residents of this area. And I thought this was something interesting and very nice that I wanted to share. These are Sergeant Major Balch's words. He describes his wife, Marcia, as a beautiful wife who deserves more credit as a soldier's wife than she is given. That's just wonderful. And I think probably many of you have served feel that same way about your spouse and your partners and your family. Chris and Marcia are currently expecting their 4th and 5th grandchildren in September and October. Sergeant Major, I want to thank you for your brave and courageous service on behalf of our region and the state of New York. Thank you. I'd like to present you with this New York State commendation. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I want to tell you what a pleasure and an honor it is to be here standing before you today. November 14th, 2004 at approximately 1 o'clock in the afternoon, everything changed in my life. It's been a lot of years, but it's still very raw, and it's difficult sometimes to talk about. When we got ready to go overseas in 2004, my wife Marcia and I were talking about being married in November. But we had to speed things up because of the deployment. We got told the 98th Division, which had never deployed to a combat theater since World War II, and at that time they only went to Hawaii, was going to deploy. At the time, everybody went to the 98th Division because they never deployed. They're drill sergeants. Where are they going? We got told we're going overseas. We went to Iraq. We were going to coach, mentor, train, and advise. Okay, that's what we do as drill sergeants. We spent a month at Camp Atterbury, Indiana, trained up, got over there, and from the time our boots hit the ground, we realized this was not going to be the ordinary mission that we thought we were going to do. We were actually leading from the front, taking Iraqi companies and troops out on missions, patrols, doing cordon searches, traffic control points, and actually kicking in doors and trying to find weapons and insurgents. Less than 30 days later, after we're getting into country, I was on a traffic control point in the south part of Fallujah, just outside Abu Ghraib. We were actually during conflict Phantom Fury, taking back Fallujah. We had posted up there late that night, and they had my Iraqis all along one side of the road. The road was split by a barrier. It was about 14, 15 feet high. I was on one side and I was actually in a bunker. The Iraqi tactics was to drop 3 mortars and run, so we couldn't get a bead on them. Well, when the first mortar came in, my Iraqi soldiers started engaging, and my first thought was, they know where this guy is. Let's get a coordinate on him. Let's call in some counter battery. Silly me, I came out of my bunker, went through the barrier, and the second mortar came down 4 feet in front of me. At the time, I didn't realize what had happened. My leg immediately went numb, and I thought it was broken. So I stepped back a little bit, sat down on the barrier with my back to it, And that's when I looked down and started seeing the blood running down my left leg. Thinking to myself, and I'm serious, the first thought that went through my head was my wife was going to kick my ass. Because I promised her I would not get hurt. They called and had me medevaced out of Abu Ghraib to the north, to Balad, where they flew me into Germany. It was about 24 hours before I actually got to contact my wife. When I called her, first thing I said to her is, "How do I sound?" And first thing she said is, "What did you do?" It's like, well, I got to have a little bit of surgery. And then I'm coming home. It took me a week from the time I had my surgery to get to Fort Knox, Kentucky, to Ireland Community Hospital, where they unloaded me from a C-130, brought me by ambulance to the hospital to do my intake, and I was not in that emergency room 30 seconds. And she walked through that door. I was never so happy to see anybody in my life. Our families stay home, and they have to live with the fear of getting that phone call that I had to make to her. 98th Division called her. She actually had the message on the answering machine. I called just as she was coming through the back door to tell her what had happened. She had not heard the machine yet. When she played the machine, they told her I had been hurt. I was fine. They were fixing me up, and I was going to be remaining in theater. They had no idea that I was already on my way home. Every day since then is a blessing. There have been ups and downs, a lot of fears. November 14th, 2004 changed my life, but it also opened my eyes to what a wonderful life it is. Through everything that I've had, my family has been right there by my side, right up to our last tragedy back in April 14th when we lost our home to a fire. That's why I wanted to be here in uniform today, but I have lost everything. All my uniforms, they have not been replaced yet. So I figured this was more appropriate anyway. It looks better. I want to thank everyone out there who has served their country in whatever way possible and stood for that flag. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. From this day forward and backwards, when I hear the National Anthem, it brings a tear to my eye and makes my heart swell, because I believe in what this country stands for and what it is we fight for every single day. God bless you, and thank you for being here.
Well done, Staff Sergeant. And I guess got to tell you, that's what this memorial is all about, is to make sure that stories of November 14, 2004 for the Staff Sergeant are never forgotten. And what they will do is not only inspire us here today, but to each one of these young men and women, it will inspire them to remember that in America, these are our heroes. These are the ones we're forever indebted to. And these are the ones that sacrifice so much to make sure that our nation remains the greatest nation that exists on the face of the earth. So to you, Staff Sergeant, I'm just inspired, and I am forever grateful to you and to each and every one of the men and women that have served with you. So I think at this point in time it is now fitting to bring up the individual who will be singing our national anthem. I think Lizzie, if you could come up. I think people already know who you are, but Lizzie Lipker is a well-known local singing group. And Lizzie, please.
Okay. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So as we wrap up today, let us all just give thanks for our men and women in the military, past, present, and future. And if you would like, this is the soft unveiling. This is not the official unveiling, I guess is the official statement. The major dedication is planned again for May 30th, 2021. But we welcome everyone to come up. And we want to thank the mayor. We want to thank Jack. We want to thank Staff Sergeant and Colonel for their words of inspiration. And we would ask you, please come up and enjoy this monument that will speak for generations on behalf of the 70 names plus that will be there for perpetuity and for generations to come. So thank you very much. Thank you for coming.